We're back. Episode 4, Seventh Man Lounge. I'm your host, Blake Solster. With me, as always, in the Seventh Man Lounge studio, the one, the only, John Wisdom. What's going on, John?
Not much. How are you fellas doing?
Man, we're making
Doing
it.
good.
Very special guest,
Doing good.
co-host also with us. He is an assistant producer with West Tennessee PBS. He is a huge Predaholic fan, and he is the great mind when it comes to figuring out who we need to keep and who's heading out. He is the one, the only, Brendan Page. What's going on, Brendan?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Man, it's been a long day in the cubicle today.
Yeah, I feel it.
Man, I'm still just counting down the days until we got some more Preds hockey in Bridgestone, guys. Like
Yes.
I'm having withdrawals terribly right now.
Already.
Yep.
It's killing me.
We were vibing. We
Hey,
were vibing.
we were 100% vibing. I know me and John got to go to a couple of games at the end of the season. I know Brandon, you got to go to a couple this year too.
Yep.
I can't believe that we got to go to Preds games this year. So I know everything that happened throughout 2020 and early in the year. I honestly didn't think I'd see a game in Bridgestone until 2022 at least.
Same.
Yep. I think the last game I went to was actually the Winter Classic in Dallas.
Lucky.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
But even before then, I mean, I think before that it was playoffs against Dallas. It was game 4. So it was over 2.5 years for me.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was.
That's tough.
So your last game was against Dallas. I think I was at the last game. We beat Dallas before the season ended. I mean, Dallas. I hate them freaking players, dude.
So much.
Scumbags. Every one of them scumbags.
It's a good rivalry. I mean, right now it's beautiful.
I mean, it's pretty neat having. I'll call Texas the South, even though they're not truly in the South, in my opinion. They're kind of West, but it's cool having a Southern rivalry in hockey. I mean,
yes.
Who would have thought that one of the best rivalries in hockey is two Southern teams in Texas and Tennessee?
Right.
It's especially who showed out at the Cotton Bowl. It was. I remember I was going through Dallas. I think it was the day before. You just saw gold. Just gold all over that city, and it was truly a spectacle. Like I'm literally getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
I believe it, man. You're talking about a spectacle. We got a spectacle coming to Nashville in 2022. Speaking of outdoor games, baby, the Preds, Nashville, Tennessee is finally hosting an outdoor hockey game in the Stadium Series against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Boys, how are we feeling about that?
Long time coming.
I need to save up.
I'm excited because there's going to be at least 60,000 seats in there. So, I mean,
we're going to fill it up.
There's going to be tickets.
Oh, I mean, a clear reference to that is see what we did with the NFL draft. It was it was insane. Now imagine that with this team.
Right.
I think they honestly deserved it after the Cotton Bowl, after all the seasons these past couple of years. They honestly deserved it.
And I think a lot of fans are going to be kind of unhappy about the matchup with the Lightning, but I'm excited about that. 'Cause, I mean, why not play the absolute best team in the league in one of the best atmospheres in hockey? I mean, it's going to be absolutely electric, no pun intended.
I wanted the Canes.
I mean, honestly, the Canes give us a run in the regular season. I hate playing the Canes in the regular season. It's like year after year, they just whip our ass.
Well, having to play them extra this season was not fun.
I mean, credit to them. They went from second overall pick a couple years ago to consistent Eastern Conference final contenders. I mean, they're a tough team.
Oh,
they're definitely an up and coming.
For sure. And we give Brendan Moore a lot of crap, but I mean, he's
a really good coach.
They're going to be good for a long time, for sure. They're going to be really good. And, man, go back to the Stadium Series. You're talking about the crowds. I mean, 4th of July, Nashville had 350,000 people downtown for some fireworks.
That's insane.
I guarantee people love the Nashville Predators more than they love fireworks in Nashville. That place is going to be nuts come February.
Oh, yeah.
And John, even better for us, it's on 2nd and 26th day, February 26th.
Ooh.
We get to celebrate an Alabama natty, and we get to celebrate an outdoor Preds game.
I might have to hide a Tua t-shirt underneath my jersey that day.
No, my Tua jersey will be on underneath my Preds jersey, 100%. But boys, we got a lot coming up in the very near future, and in just a couple of weeks, we got the expansion draft for the Seattle Kraken, and I'm a little nervous about it. I'm not going to lie.
I am too.
Yeah, it's anytime we get I'm feeling the same way when we had the one with Vegas. Just knowing the fact that you're going to be losing a player that could be significant, especially for these bigger teams, it's nerve-wracking.
It's absolutely nerve-wracking. I mean, you got to think about the chemistry at these teams. All these teams got, not just the Predators. Think about anybody that's getting picked apart by this expansion team. It's going to mess with it's going to mess with the chemistry in the locker room. I mean, it has to.
Yep,
it really is. Yeah.
I mean, and it's got to be tough, like from the other side, to think about it as a player. It's got to be tough to, like, you know, have a bunch of just like random guys thrown together that were, you know, every single one of them was with a different organization a few months before that. And then, you know, they all just get grouped together, you know, to form a team just from scratch. And I think it would be pretty odd from the player side to think about, you know, getting thrown together with a bunch of random dudes that all just got mixed together in a pot.
Well, I mean, credit to Vegas. They somehow pulled that out.
Hey, they got the algorithm.
I don't know how they did it, but
I mean, they're consistent. That is one of the most consistent teams I've watched since they started playing. From game one till where they've got to now, dude, they don't hardly miss a beat. Now, unless your name is Marc-Andre Fleury. Yes. Oh, no doubt. When you pour in hundreds of millions of dollars into your expansion team, you're going to have success.
I think also, I know it sounds, you know, like a beaten up record, but I think the terms of the expansion draft was a little bit more lenient towards them than, you know, back in '98 when we did it. So,
absolutely. I mean, like you just said, it was 1998. I mean, the money's a lot different in hockey right now, and teams like Seattle and Vegas.
There's been a whole lockout since then, you know.
Right.
I think there's been multiple.
I mean, but
they missed the whole season at one point, though. You know, like the CBA with the NHL seems like it's the one that's always the most easy to push, you know, and end up causing a scene. I think in our lifetimes we've seen it happen more with the NHL than with any other league. Maybe MLB would be second.
No doubt.
Never come to terms.
Well, Preds are probably going to lose a couple of guys, but I want to talk to y'all about who we're going to try to protect and keep and maybe deal with after the draft. And I want to go ahead and go to you, Brendan, first, because I know we already discussed it. Go ahead and talk us through how this expansion draft's working and everything, the setup for it, what Seattle got to do, and then we'll go into who we're protecting.
All right. So this expansion draft, from what I read, is exactly like the Vegas one. Each team, except for Vegas, will be protecting either 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goalie, or it will be 8 skaters total and 1 goalie. So basically, you're going to be taking care of 9 or 11 players, depending on whether you want to keep defensemen or whether you want to keep forwards. And it will come down to either there are exemptions, though. Players that are in the league for less than, I believe, 3 years are exempt from this. After that, it's all fair game.
2.
Is it 2?
I think it might be 2.
Other than that, it is fair game, except for those with no moves clause.
Got you. So all of that to say, you pretty much have 9 or 11 players that you can protect, and unless they're a restricted free agent or unrestricted free agent, whatever.
Yes.
Pretty much. In a nutshell, yes. So
yes,
tell us the format you think the Preds are going to go with, and kind of give us a little elaboration on it. Why? I think because ours are very similar.
Yeah. So I went with the 7-3-1. I believe a couple years ago with Vegas, they did the 8+1 because of our defensive core. We wanted to keep that intact, but now with our defense not being as still good, but not as consistent, I think we need to save up on a couple of our younger prospects in the forward division. So I believe we're going to go with the 7-3-1 option.
I got you. So with that 7-3-1, go ahead and list them out. Who you got going through it?
All right. So who I believe we are going to be protecting would be Philip Forsberg, Colton Sissons, Callie Yarncrow, Luke Cunnin, Nick Cousins. Hopefully, if we sign a contract to him, Eric Halla. And we don't have to worry about Ellie Tovanen because he will be exempt. And I think that was at 6 or?
I think that was 6.
And I'm trying to figure out. And I think I said Tanner Jeannot earlier too. I think so.
And then we have the exact same list.
Basically. And then for the defenseman,
mine's super similar.
I went with Roman Josi because of his no movement clause. We obviously have to protect him. And here's the shocking one. I actually went with Matthias Ekholm and Alexis Carrier. I think Alexis Carrier had a fantastic season for what he was thrown into, especially with Ryan Ellis being injured for some parts of the season. And I think he is a valuable asset for the, up and coming Preds. And then obviously for the goalie, I went with Saros. I mean, I there's no rhyme or reason with that one. It's UC Saros. No, really can't say anything else.
I mean, they haven't called me yet to give me my contract for my emergency goalkeeping yet since my first day. I'm still waiting on that, by the way. Like, come on, Prez, give me a call. I know I put a highlight tape on IG. Like, I know you saw that fall. It was a beautiful, graceful fall. It was great.
It really was. You caught yourself.
You should have seen the fall before that when I hit the puck and the defenseman or the offensive player got it, and I had to try to skate and I failed trying to get to him. It was even better. It took me 30 seconds. Let's see, that video is about 30 seconds longer than that in the beginning because it took me 20 seconds to skate from 10 feet away back to my spot after I got up. It was tough.
I thought you were gonna say the whole video is just you rolling around trying to get up.
That would have been pretty funny to see in my
like the little brother from A Christmas Story, just like
just going.
Hey, while we're talking about 7 Element, shout out to the boys back here, 7 Element up in Nashville, Brian Bailey, Jared Thaxton, Tony Thomas, all y'all do for veterans and first responders in Nashville. Man, we can't thank y'all enough. Y'all are the absolute goats. Big kudos to y'all, and I cannot wait to get back in the crease up there with y'all. Just please don't hit me in the freaking wrist for my goal, or my wrist isn't covered up again. That shit hurt. It was awful. But yeah, John, let's get to your list. I want to hear who you're protecting as well, because I know you said you had a couple of different than you had from Brendan.
Well, not a lot. Mine's pretty similar. Especially, I guess, you know what? I'll do this just to make sure that I have something different than what
his list is going to be the same than mine now.
I know, right?
We've changed defensive players.
So I've got Forsberg, Callie Yarncrow, Joey, Trennan, Luke Kunin, Granny, and Cousins. I think Granny gets a contract here in the coming weeks, and we keep him around.
That would be nice. I'm praying you're correct.
Defensively, I've got Josi, Fabro, and Ekholm, but I wouldn't mind, as Brendan was saying, I wouldn't mind Carrier getting covered up. That would be, I wouldn't hate that. And then obviously Saros in the crease.
No doubt.
So yeah, pretty similar list. Not exactly the same, but
yeah, I got Forsberg. I have Halla if we sign him and keep him. I got Granlund if we sign him and keep him. Yarncrow, Cousins, Sissons, and Tanner Jeannot. Tanner Jeannot is one of those guys huge dude that just came out and played hockey every single night, and he does it well. I mean, I really don't know why we didn't use him much more near the end of the season as well. He's one of those guys I felt was kind of vibing with that team.
For sure.
Defensive
I'm surprised he's not exempt, to be honest. I'm not sure how long he's been around, but I think
I
thought he
was
would
in
be
the
exempt.
same boat with when we had Colin Blackwell. I think he's also exposed for the Rangers.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere in there.
I believe you're right. I mean, the kid's born in '97, so he's getting a little old.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which is crazy. What's crazy to say because that's 7 years younger than me. Anyways, defensive wise, I got Yossi, Ekholm, and Fabro. Fabro's another one of those guys came straight up from college and played NHL hockey from day one. The kid can freaking go. Sure. Love watching him play. I think he's going to be really good for us on the defensive side and be a top 4 defensive pair for sure for us in the coming next 2 seasons for sure. And then, of course, UC Saros used the GOAT or baby GOAT because Pecorino will always be the GOAT in Nashville. I mean, both those. I mean, thinking about that, we've had UC Saros and Pecorino right now. This 2 size-wise different parallel worlds, but the way they play is so similar. It's scary.
It really is.
Think about if Saros was 6'5" like Pekka.
That's scary.
I don't think he gets scored on.
With Saros's hockey IQ, I know a lot of people. I know Chris Mason, especially. I've listened to him talk about this. His IQ is unbelievable for a goalie. Like,
really,
it's almost like he can see into the future of these passes and whether or not they will either get tipped in or whether they will be, just tossed into the back of the boards. It's especially for his height. What he lacks in height, he makes up with in hockey IQ.
That makes a lot of sense because dude always seems to be there before the puck's even been sent to that position. Like you just said, he kind of sees it coming. It's not like he's guessing either. It's almost like he's predicting it very educationally.
So let me throw a hypothetical out there. If UC Saros had come up in any other organization behind any other goaltender, excuse me. What do you think? Would he have become polished, finished product that he is now already, or would he still be a developing goalie?
I think it really depends on which organization.
Right. It's a lot of it's just about who you come up under.
I think being that he's 24, goaltenders are a little bit different than forwards. They take a little bit more time to develop. That's why we don't see Oskarov playing for us really anytime soon. Even Jordan Bennington for St. Louis, he didn't play until he was 26, 27.
Right.
So honestly, it's a make and break with young goalies. Prime example, Carter Hart for Philly. Had a fantastic season last year, came up, I think he's 23, 24, and then he just fell off the edge of a cliff this season. So goalies are just really hard to figure out sometimes, especially when they're young.
I think a lot of it is just a confidence thing too.
It really is.
For sure.
I mean, I'll tell you, if you lose it,
I think having a good defense.
You gotta have some balls to get in that crease to begin with. I mean, you gotta be a different human. I mean, I'll talk from experience. You got to be a different human to be in that crease. And I might be half that human. I don't know if I'm fully there yet, but you see, dude, he was born to play goalie for the Nashville Predators. I don't think he would have been able to answer your question, John, to have that relationship like he's had with Pekka than with anybody else. I mean, they're from the same country. They have so many similarities between them where they could connect. And I mean, we see it. They're like father and son when you see them on the ice. I mean, they have that legit relationship. I don't think he would have found that anywhere else in the NHL. And I think that was a godsend for him and us with the Nashville Predators organization because we got 2 of the greatest goals I think we could have ever got in this tenure.
Even
we
better.
got really lucky.
Oh, even better. I mean, I think UC was a 5th round pick, and then Pekka was an 8th round pick back when they had 8 rounds. And
Pekka didn't even start goalie when he got drafted. The dude, they saw the kid in warmups and drafted him.
Yeah, it's.
Yep.
I mean,
you never know what
that story always blows me away.
It really does.
Not at all. So we've talked about who we're protecting. Yeah, we had a little lag. Sorry for all the one viewer we have right now, but it was all right. It'll be all right. We'll keep on rocking and rolling. So we talked about who we all were going to protect. Who is one guy that you think Seattle might pick up from Nashville? Because I know I've got one, and it is a heartbreaker.
Yeah, you told me. Well, I'll go first. So at first I was thinking, not gonna lie, I was thinking Victor Arvidsson, but of course what's happened the past couple of days, that kind of taken off my list. I think Poyle will be doing a kind of a sneak thing. I think he wants to get rid of a big contract.
Agreed.
I think he's either going to be giving up either Johansson or Duchesne, but I think he's going to have to throw in a first round or maybe even a second round pick in order for Seattle to even take up that contract. I think that's what happened with Minnesota. They sent Alex Tuck there and also a couple round picks, so they didn't take any other players. If it wasn't that, I see Seattle taking Yarncrow, but I feel like we're going to get rid of one of these big contracts, whether it's Duchesne or whether it's Johansson.
I could see that. John, what about you?
So I would probably assume that they would go Joey, to be honest. I don't know that, given what Duchesne has put on tape over the last, 120 games or so, I don't know that that's going to warrant somebody wanting to use a pick on him.
Yeah.
So I think ideally it would be Duchesne. Just as far as money goes, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but I wouldn't mind seeing Ryan Ellis's contract walk out the door. That's a lot of money for a shot blocker.
Yeah,
no doubt. And not even probably, I don't know if he's top 3 anymore. I almost want to take Fabro over him, just the way he's played since he got injured. Like, he has not been the same player.
No, not at all.
Yeah, no.
Ever since the Dallas series in the playoffs, the first round exit.
Yeah,
that was, watching him get ragdolled was, for the whole series, was not fun.
No, not at all. I mean, watching us lose like that is never fun either. I mean, we all three know how electric a playoff game in Bridgestone is. Like, there's nothing like it. It's an easy way to quiet a crowd down very easily there. But
for sure.
You're talking about sending off Duchesne, man. I don't want to lose Duchesne anymore. I don't think he really grew on me near the end of the season. I yelled at him a lot while we were in Bridgestone. Now, don't get me wrong. I cussed him out quite a few times, but the way he played in those last few games and in that playoff series with Carolina, he played like a top line forward for us, like we've needed him to be all year long.
It's really weird seeing that now too, because not just Duchesne, but Johansson really came out of nowhere in the playoff series. I mean, those two, when they were in the line together, they just clicked.
Absolutely.
And his playmaking took a step up for sure.
I know a lot of Preds fans love that Joe Fallon, but that 9-to-5 line's a whole different vibe,
yes.
man. Like, it is full feed in your face constantly, and they're putting pucks on net. I mean, their chemistry looked like 2017 all over again when the 9-to-5 line was in.
It really did.
It really
did.
I mean, it's untouchable. I would really hate to lose Duchesne or Johansson. I know the money's not right, but if that line's playing right, the money's there. I mean, they should be playing if they play that consistently. And you got to think, we didn't play Duchesne on that first line with him until what, 3/4 of the way through the season? I don't know what John Hines was waiting on, because I mean, clearly Duchesne was heads and toes over all.
It was a really weird season.
It was for sure. But I think they finally established that 9 to 5 is that first line for the Preds. So I really would hate to break that up now when we just started vibing with them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I think John Hines has a little say in what Pole's thinking here, and a guy they really underutilized, and I don't think they can find a spot for on the roster right now, which is going to break my heart, is Rocco Grimaldi, because I just don't know where you fit him in the lineup consistently without sending him down to Milwaukee.
But
and there's no point to send him to Milwaukee.
No, absolutely not. He's not going to get taken in the expansion draft. I feel like we can say that confidently. But if maybe the right person gets taken, I think he could be a great body to plug a hole in a lineup.
I honestly think with RV gone, I believe that opens up a hole for Tomasino. The kid played great for Chicago for the AHL, and I honestly see Rocco being a great winger to Tomasino his first year.
That would be nice.
I think it's almost like a Joey to an RV in a type of way in terms of play.
Yep.
So
I like that. Sure. Like I said, I really would hate for Rocco to leave. I just feel like he was so underutilized in the way Polio, whatever. I hate saying his name. Sends off players. Poyle, thank you. It would just, I could just see him sending Rocco off, and it would really ruin my day. And just like it's a great segue how Poyle ruined John's day when he traded RB to LA for 2 picks.
Oh, I didn't notice the numbers.
We literally got that jersey that night, like literally 2 months ago.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
A lot of teams, I think Nashville does it. A lot of teams offer the jersey swap where, like, if a guy gets moved, they'll swap the jersey in the pro shop for you.
Yeah.
Even if the Preds do it, I don't think I want to. I think I'm going to keep it.
Just turn the top of the 3 into a 5, make it a Rene jersey. You'll be fine.
I got a Pekka. So, think about it. These, number 5 on the all-time points list for the Predators?
Yeah.
I'm not giving that up. Come on.
Nah, I feel you. I mean, you could turn the 3 into a 1 and make a Yakov.
Hey, nah, I'm still not getting rid of my RV.
Well, see, it was really funny. I believe I was at work when this was happening, and of course I wasn't on my phone or anything. And I get home and I'm like, all right, let's open up Twitter, let's see what's going on. And I just saw it looked like a war zone over whether it was correct to do it or whether it was not correct to do it. Either way, I think we were all just shocked.
I was shocked.
Definitely.
This came out of left field.
So what I have read is that part of the reason it happened was because Poyle had been told that Seattle was going to take Arvidsson. And so instead of losing him, he thought, if I'm going to lose him, I would rather get something for him than just watch him walk out the door. So that was, from what I've heard, a big driving factor in the move.
Going off what you said, I actually showed a couple people this article from, I believe it was the Tennessean. So Poyle was on 102.5. I think it was either yesterday or the day before. And from what I read, Arvidsson was actually not very happy with the Preds organization. And
I've seen the same thing. It was kind of a mutual parting of ways.
And it kind of shocks me and also worries me, because we've seen this happen with other teams where players aren't happy and it literally dismantles the team from the inside out. And I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping all the other players are okay with it, especially during the "We're Vibing" saga of the latter year. I thought they were all coming together.
Well,
but
you got to think too. RV RV missed a chunk of the vibe when he was out with his injury, and so I think he was watching his teammates vibe more than anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably going to be the most hated person in this thing. Honestly, I don't think it was a bad move. In a neutral standpoint, and also for what we got for him.
We can also screw it up with the picks. don't forget that.
Now,
don't forget that.
If we do well with the picks, I don't think RV's been the same since 2 years ago when he was hit by Todd Bertuzzo of St. Louis. I actually saw
that was a shot too.
If people who are watching don't know what I'm talking about, it was a game against St. Louis, and Bertuzzo did a cross check to RV, not once but twice, and basically RV was out for almost the rest of the season. Since that hit, I don't think he's been nowhere near the same as he once was.
No, I mean, you talked about that earlier, Brandon. Like he played. You can see it in his play. He plays beat up. Like you can tell he's kind of pulling back a little bit and a little hesitant when a check's coming. He's not the same guy that we've seen for years.
I don't think he was worth a first round pick. I know a lot of people I've talked to think he was. I think that's also being that he was a fan favorite. But I think a second for this year and a third for next year was not a bad. I mean,
I expected to get less than that. I thought it would be a second and a full, to be honest. So I was happy to get what we got.
And I mean, of course, we're all on that youth train. I'm pretty sure we're all on that. Bring the youth up to the Preds, and this gives an opportunity to, like I said earlier, Philip Tomasino, or maybe even let's go even crazier, Patrick Harper. Like let's get those young guns in.
Yeah,
and I mean the youth movement really fueled that comeback for this past season with the Preds, because I don't think if we hadn't had that youth movement that we've all talked about, we don't make the playoffs. That's bottom line.
No, we were fishing a barrel at one point.
I don't know.
Was it less than 3% chance of making the playoffs?
Yeah, I talked.
What do we say? 2.7 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Justin Bradford on Standing Room Only Radio when we were still doing that podcast, and I think it was March, and I asked him if the Preds had any chance of making the playoffs and or if they should make a push, and the answer to both was no. And that's what everybody was saying everywhere. Nobody thought the Preds had any chance whatsoever.
No.
And that's what I love about this team is they keep proving everybody wrong. I mean, they might not make it to the Cup every single year, but I swear to God, they don't ever quit. And that's what I love about this team. I think that's why I'm so passionate about them, because this team is so relatable. It's because, I mean, they're from the South. Don't feel like you really belong in the South with hockey, being down there in Nashville, Tennessee. You're the black sheep of everybody. And then you come out and show out. I mean, that's one of the greatest stories ever, I think, in my opinion, in professional hockey. Just the way they.
I think that's why we had the best chance we did, or the chance we did in the Carolina series, is just because we've, again and again, we've proved people wrong that doubted and hated. And I think, effort fell a little bit short, but I think that's why we had the chance, was because, guys,
we're only a goal short of Game 7 with Carolina this year. I mean, we went to 3 straight overtimes.
Yeah, I
mean, we had every chance in the world to put them out.
A long hockey game.
I didn't even expect, like I said, this team somehow gave me hope in the playoffs. Some I didn't think we even had, but when they pushed it to Game 6, it was slim. It was slim, but they still gave me a chance and a thought of, oh my God, we can actually beat Carolina in a series. I
honestly think if we had beat Carolina, we would have gave Tampa a run in a series, to be honest. Yeah. I don't think we would have beat Tampa, but I think we would have given them a lot better run than what who they played, New York Islanders.
Yeah, it was the Islanders.
Yeah.
Yep. unfortunate. But we got way off subject from RV back to Hurricanes.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. But
I mean, he was a great player. I think
he was.
I think he's kind of like Shea Weber. Like, I know majority of us are cheering for Montreal because we want Shea Weber to hoist that cup. And I'm going to go the same way with Arvidsson. I really want to see him go and show out for the Kings. I really hope he does something.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to end up being like Fiala.
Yeah. I agree. Completely agree.
What were you going to say, John? Sorry, I thought you were froze.
Oh, no. I was just agreeing with what Brendan was saying about RV at the Kings. I don't want to go and watch him fall flat on his face. Like we said, he's
not at all.
The 5th all-time leading point scorer in Preds history. I want to see him go out there and do well. Make us proud.
No doubt. You can't thank RV enough for everything he's done for the organization. I mean, you can't say a bad word about the guy. Like, thank you, bow down. Like, we are not worthy. Thank you for everything.
I'm gonna miss seeing that RV gif on Twitter.
Bro, I'm gonna miss seeing them do stupid stuff in an RV, saying they're going across town, like him and Johansson in an RV together. That was some of the funniest promo stuff I've ever seen, dude.
Yeah,
it was great.
That's great marketing. Whoever came up with that idea needs a raise for real.
Right.
But guys, so we're about, I'd say, 3/4 of the way through the show. So it's a great time to pop up the giveaway and let everybody know what's going on. So we don't have one giveaway. We have 2 giveaways. So we got one giveaway that's going to be happening on Twitter. One that's going to be happening on IG. We're going to put the post out for that after we get done recording here. So the first one is going to be on the Instagram account, and it is for a Mike Fisher signed President's Trophy Preds hockey puck. Pretty sweet giveaway item.
Mr. Predator.
Hey, Mr. Underwood.
I'm going to go with that. For those who don't know hockey, Carrie Underwood.
That's it. That's the one, which makes it just as much valuable, I think, in my opinion. But the rules for that one are easy. Go follow us on Instagram at the number 7th Man Lounge, 7th Man Lounge. Go on there, follow us. You can like the post. That's another one. And then tag 3 friends in that post so we can boost up our IG. We just started that today. So be a big giveaway item for that. It's very brand spanking new. So Mike Fisher puck. And once we get to 200 followers on that, we're going to announce the winner on that real easy. Twitter giveaway for everybody watching on Twitter right now. I think we have one person watching. I'd probably shout out Adam Raymer. What's up, baby? So Twitter giveaway, we have a beautiful Philip Forsberg signed 5x7 picture with him scoring on the one Mr. Murray for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Murray, you suck. Very easy. All you got to do is follow us on the shirt. I love it. I love
that. I forgot you were wearing that.
That's the yellow one with just the blue on it. Heck yeah, that's the greatest chant in sports, honestly.
It really is.
But real easy on Twitter. You gotta follow us, retweet the post that will have this on there, and tag 3 friends underneath in the thread. Again, when we get to 250 followers on Twitter, we'll do the winner on that one. Very exciting stuff. So 2 really nice giveaway items: Mike Fisher puck, Philip Forsberg signed 5x7. That's pretty sweet memorabilia that's legit signed. I almost say John's probably mad because I told him he could have that Forsberg picture, but I'm almost into the one that's not signed.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. It's for the people.
Well,
it's for the people.
It's right. It's for the people. That's what it's all about, for the people, because we're the common people for the common people. But
absolutely
now
beautiful.
So that giveaway, like I said, we're gonna put those posts up as soon as we get off here. But we have one more thing to talk about, and that is the Stanley Cup Final. And boys, if you don't know if you watched the game last night, I did. That shit was lit last night.
It was.
So the Habs, man, they down 3-0. You got the mayor of Tampa Bay saying they want Montreal to win Game 4 so Tampa can win it in Tampa, which I think could be a curse. I hope it's a curse too, because I would love to see blow a 3-0 lead to Shea Weber and the Montreal Canadiens.
That would be pretty beautiful.
Especially with I'm about guaranteed. I know I'm one. I did not see Montreal even making it past the first round.
No way.
They did great last season in the bubble, but I didn't think it was going to carry over to where they are now. And
like, I don't think I saw anybody that didn't have Edmonton coming out of the bracket.
Yeah, I know.
They're just so top heavy, man. Edmonton has, what's the percentage of total points scored on the season that McDavid and Draisaitl take up on that team? It's got to be huge. It's got to be huge. And I mean, I know they're tough to stop, no doubt. But if you don't have any kind of depth, you're not going to make a run. You're just not.
Also, I think goaltending was a problem with them. Mike Smith is good, but I mean, how old is he now? Like 38, 39?
Oh, he's getting up there.
He's getting up there.
It's
Jinx, you owe me season ticket to the Preds, John.
What?
You said the same thing as me, so I said, Jinx, you owe me to the Preds.
Oh, that was all I heard. I was like, what? Excuse me?
Dang. I was like, dang, you just called you out.
You mean a spot on the waiting list?
That would be nice. I mean, they send me emails every day trying to join the damn Loyal Legion.
Right.
Hey, they don't hesitate to send emails out. But so 3-1 now, going back to Tampa. How do you boys see this playing out tomorrow night in Tampa Bay?
It can go really either way. Tampa, for that, Tampa's a tough place to play.
For sure.
We saw it throughout the entirety of the playoffs. We saw it in the first 2 games. Of course, Tampa Bay is a super team. This is a team that they spent years and years and years building, and now it's to the point to where they can become a dynasty.
It's like the Alabama of the NHL.
It almost
easy with that.
I mean that's as close as we can get to that. I don't see a player on any of those lines that aren't getting up there in a name that every, any amateur hockey player or any amateur hockey fan knows.
Right.
And their depth is honestly insane. You're talking with Anthony Cicerelli. Of course, Braden Point has shown out ever since he stepped in. So, and then what can we say about Vasilevsky that has not already been said?
Let's go ahead and give him the GOAT crown, the real GOAT crown, because that man is the GOAT.
He is, not only is he good, he is young. He has been consistent for this team since he started. But it really just depends if Montreal can go with this momentum flow.
No doubt.
I think with Josh Anderson, I think he has been fantastic in the past couple games, especially against Vegas. He had a couple of those good goals. The defense has been pretty good with Shea Weber, Jeff Petrie. I really want to see a little bit more in terms of the neutral zone. I saw them having a little bit of problems with Tampa Bay's defense. And also, they need to stop taking penalties. I think they gave Tampa Bay a couple extra opportunities. But to be fair, I think the refs were not very fair in this one. I saw a couple plays for Montreal that should have went their way. But, officiating has been a problem this entire playoffs. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh yeah,
I will go even as far as to say
since the bubble
this season. Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
Wes
it's been rough
McCauley
to
isn't in
watch.
it, so
Vasilevsky's 26, by the way.
he's oh wow,
Man, that's nuts. I mean, honestly, for Montreal to have a chance tomorrow night, they're going to have to score a couple early, and they're going to score fast because Tampa's going to put points up on you. You're going to have to keep up. It's like we were just talking about there. That's another reason I said they're the Alabama of the NHL, John, is, I mean, they're a very fast tempo, going to put the puck down your throat type team constantly.
For sure.
And the Habs are going to have
halftime.
Yeah, no doubt. Exactly. The Habs are going to have to score at least 2 early on in the first 2 periods. They can't keep having these 1-goal games till late in the third and trying to scrape back into the game with a Tampa Bay team that doesn't get tired. No,
especially against Tampa Bay.
And Tampa's going to be rocking because they're thinking they're going to be hoisting the trophy that night.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
I've noticed one thing about, and I think the Habs can use this to the advantage. When they dump it in, I've noticed more often than not, Vasilevsky likes to play the puck.
Yeah.
I think we saw that last night. He almost kind of screwed up with that and pulled a Marc-Andre Fleury with the puck.
Right.
I think they can kind of use that to an advantage. Maybe
I would,
because Pecorine is one of those ones that knows how to do it right. He can play the puck, and I mean, he can pass it too. Vasilevsky is also really good at that. But if he keeps on doing it, there's going to be one time where he's going to slip up, and you just have someone on the forecheck there. You can score a easy goal.
If you game plan that and you design a play to try to make that happen, I think it's totally possible.
Yeah.
Now they're at the point where, it's a pulling out all the stops kind of situation where if they have something up their sleeve, now is the time to play it. So
right now is the time to run the flea flicker. Please run it.
Right.
We'll see the Flying V come out tomorrow night from Montreal. That would be. I swear to God, I would die.
Put Weber as a forward.
So I think Canadians win tomorrow night in Tampa. I think Game 6 back in Montreal. I think the Lightning hoist the cup in Montreal, and the mayor of Tampa does not get his wish. I think that the attendance situation has been a huge factor. Now, obviously, last night in Montreal was probably safe to say the most people that have attended a sporting event in Canada in
that was probably
a huge chunk of time.
Place in Canada in the last year and a half.
Yeah. So they were rocking, like, I don't know what the percentage was, but it was probably under 50 if I had to guess, but they were rocking.
Yeah.
No doubt. Dude, I like what you're saying.
But I think that plays a big factor.
That's old school hockey fans.
They are some of the most passionate fans. I think I've met a few of them once or twice at the All-Star game back when we had in 2016. They are as diehard as they get.
Yep. They grow up, it's like Braves fans in the South. When you're born in French Canada, you are handed a Canadian jersey.
Basically,
honestly. Well, I think honestly, I like your call on that. I like the Habs pulling it out in Tampa. I want the mayor to choke on her words because that's a curse in my opinion. And I want the Habs to come all the way back, and I think they have the team to do it. They could very well wear down eventually this Tampa Bay team. I mean, we've seen Tampa Bay get some weird injuries down the road.
For sure. Price gives them a chance. I know he's not Vasilevsky, but he gives them a chance. He really does. So, the probability of it going 7 isn't very high, but I don't think that it's completely outside the realm of possibility, if for no other reason than Carey Price gives them that chance.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I mean, he's got to play. He's got to play his best hockey for sure.
But he can.
I think
his best hockey is really good.
I think he's pulling almost like a redemption type thing. Because the past couple of years, especially after that large contract, I think it was 10 years, 100 and something million. People laughed at that, and I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them. I didn't think he deserved that big of a contract, but he's showing it in this playoffs on why he has been a consistent name in the NHL for years as one of the best goalies. I think he needs a little bit more help, especially with defense. I don't think he can do this by himself.
6 years, $39 million.
6 years, $39 million.
But he had huge signing bonuses.
That's why I was wondering.
It was huge signing bonuses.
And I mean, if Montreal is going to get to Game 6, which I am kind of off that wagon in terms with you guys, I think Tampa Bay will win tomorrow, solely on the fact that they are at home and you're going up against one of the best home teams in the NHL in terms of record at home. And but if Montreal wants to pull this off, they really need to work on power play and also really just moving the puck. There are times where they've been stagnant, especially in the first period of last game. I think it was 10 shots to 0 halfway through the first. Yeah. So they really need to start off fast. They can't, the chances they were given, they scored on, but they cannot play this game again. I mean, this is going to be your last shot of playing that good luck charm, and this is going to be the kicker. Whether Montreal will, I think if they win tomorrow, Montreal will host a cup in Game 7. I'm going to go that far.
Oh,
I like that call. Okay. I like that call a lot.
I think if Montreal wins,
I'm telling you, the Habs are going to come out fast and hot early tomorrow. They got to score early. If they score early, I'm calling it. They're winning in 7.
Okay, I like that. Both of y'all.
Hell yeah.
Reverse sweep.
Hell yeah. Hey, shout out Adam Raymer, my co-host for Bama Lounge, watching the show tonight. Let us give us a little shout out. Get it, boys.
Roll Tide.
Woo. Roll Tide, Adam. And then our boy Andrew Holt tried to watch the show tonight, and he said, "Bro, you got to have a 6G iPhone to connect to this." Shout out Andrew. Shout out Andrew. Hey, it's all good. We'll get it together eventually, man. We'll figure it. It's our first live stream. I said we did a pretty good job. Saying that, we're going to go ahead and bring it to the end of the show. Before we let everybody go ahead, and if you're listening on Apple, if you're listening on Google, Spotify, if you haven't already, subscribe and then unsubscribe and then subscribe, unsubscribe, and then subscribe again. Give us that little boost. Helps us out in all the algorithms. Really gives us a big help. Follow us on Twitter at 7th Man Lounge, the number 7th Man Lounge. Same thing on Instagram. We have the same exact one. We'll probably have a Facebook soon. Oh, actually, I just got freed from my 30-day Facebook jail, so I can now make a Facebook page for 7th Man. Shout out. Hey, it was a long stay in there, man. 30 days.
Oh, my Lord.
Dude, I've been checking it all day trying to see that countdown.
He paid his dues.
That's right. I don't ever call anybody a clown. It is bullying and harassment on Facebook.
Oh.
Even if you're defending yourself. But anyways, like I said, we'll have a Facebook up soon. Also, don't forget we have the giveaways on Twitter for the 5x7 with Forsberg, and then the puck on IG with Mike Fisher. Shout out Brendan.
Follow.
Hey, follow. Shout out Brendan Page for coming on the show tonight and being an absolutely awesome special guest co-host. Shout out. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Loved it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You are welcome on the show at any time, brother. You just let me know when you want to hop on with us.
I will take that.
Absolutely. And John, thank you as always for showing up in the studio tonight. And from now on, it's going to be a bi-weekly show until season starts. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Next week, I'll be back on Bama Lounge. So definitely stay tuned. Follow social medias and look for any other updates we got. And that's all I got for tonight. I'm Blaze Soldier. This is 7 Meth Lounge. We are out.